beautiful beings. This is Glenda Pearl, and happy post-Thanksgiving. I decided to do this video today instead of the day before Thanksgiving because I thought everybody would be away with their families and spending some time together, as well as, Thanksgiving should be spent with those people that you're grateful for to have in your life as well. And I am grateful to be here with you. So today I'll share a little bit of like astrological guidance and show you what's coming up, and then see what the wisdom, the oracle has to offer, knowing that these sessions are all mostly just kind of channeled through. So guidance shows us the way. So let's take a moment. I'm feeling this. Let's come into our hearts for a moment and look at the way the world has been for us. Where have you traveled through? What has changed or happened, transformed, whether pleasant or unpleasant in your life? What has become clear, or what do you feel like you're still working on? But what is, just take a moment to gaze back through time and see how things have been, how you've been, especially in all of this. Have you noticed your your waning of your energy, your rising of your energy? What have you noticed yourself being? How have you been, for lack of a better word, handling this outer inner crisis, if you will, pandemic? Or maybe it hasn't been a crisis for you. Maybe it's been exploratory. Maybe it's been expansive. Maybe you've discovered something. Maybe it's been delightful. Maybe it's been transforming in the most wondrous way. Now, if you just gaze back, glance back at what has been, can you notice one or two things that you're grateful that they actually happened in your life? That whether they were pleasant or unpleasant at the time, but now in retrospect, you can see the benefit of that experience. Can you gaze back and see one or two things? And maybe just choose one thing that you feel has been pinnacle on your path, that has helped you pursue something new inside of you. What has been that one thing that you've gained? Maybe it's even been a certificate, a diploma, a graduation of some sorts, initiation. Maybe you started a new job. Maybe you found that you were stronger than you ever thought yourself to be. Maybe from what you thought was a shadow became light. Maybe you thought was a bruise actually became an artwork. Who knows? What was it? Can you find that one thing that has helped you? Or maybe it's just in this moment, you're like, actually, I'm watching this for the first time ever. Maybe it's that one thing that you needed right now, just to see from this place of gratitude, how can we spring our way forward? How can we take this gratitude as something that we can weave into the rest of our path, as acknowledging ourselves for having that strength, for having graduated, for having been initiated, for having that ability to discover something new, to create. Or maybe you needed the time just to cocoon so that all your old parts could disintegrate. And this is an invitation now, especially as the planets are all starting to move forward, to find that inner light. And even though we're going, this is interesting, so all the planets are moving forward, yet there is one planet that's not, which is Uranus, which makes sense completely why Uranus would be the one and only. Doesn't do anything like anybody else. But even though we have planets moving forward, there's action, energy to move forward. We even have Neptune moving forward on Sunday, the day before the full moon. So then again, there's energy in that too. Like, what are we looking at? What we can gain from everything we've been in the dark, if you will, being locked away inside. What have we gained? Now we can take that gaining, that energy of that into action. Maybe it's just been inspiration, and that's good. An idea that you've been pondering about for the last few months. Maybe it's an actionable step you can take. There's also this invitation too in all of this, that we sit here together in this gratitude space, is how can you use this gratitude to make change in the world? What can you from your little place, wherever you sit, or maybe it's a big place, from where you sit, one thing. Maybe it's if you just smiled every day and smiled at strangers every day, or smiled at the ones that you love and make it easy. That would change the day. It would change the experience of everybody's experience moving forward. How can we share this gratitude? So look inside. What have you learned? What have we gained? What are we gaining? Because it's all about spiritual growth. Growing, constant growing. There's no top end to any of this. It's always constantly growing, finding something new, finding new depths of stillness. Can you discover those new depths of stillness? Stilling oneself. Find that stillness in your heart. Let yourself bathe in that, and that's where the gratitude will bloom from, or grow from. Take another fresh breath. Breathe all the breath out. And so let's see what the guidance has to offer. So we have a full moon in Gemini, penumbral eclipse at 8 degrees. For us on the Pacific coast, we'll get about 1:30 something a.m. So there's a partial eclipse. So there's, the light is shining, but shining to create a shadow. But under the shadow still that we know that there's actually something beautiful, because we've seen it before. We've seen the moon in all her glory, and she's beautiful, she's mesmerizing. But there's a shadow that we perceive to be there, but a shadow that is there. So it wants us to reveal something that's inside of us, a gift that wants to keep on giving. I like that. But if we are in that place of our mind, this is Mercury mind chatter, we aren't able to see the inspirations of the moment. So this full moon, quiet in the mind, keep it still there if you can, to see what is being offering. It seems to be an offering, something that wants to come through. So let's take another deep inhale here together. Big breath in. Full breath all the way out to the rounded lips, just blow it out. Let the mind be still. And let us ask guidance to come in, to guide us on our path, to guide us on our way. Because everything's always crystal clear in every way. And it feels like we're going through another doorway. Oh, it says relationship. Sometimes I think it's a relationship that we have with ourselves. And then also, I've seen this card before, and actually has come up again in the pandemic as well. This relationship is, if there's a dolphin in this card, the relationship that we have one with ourselves, but also there was this relationship with the greatest source. And this reminds me of Neptune a little, because that watery energy, Pisces, Neptune, the guardian of the ocean, right? The god of the ocean. This Neptunian energy. There's also this curving line here as well. So there's a lot of energy coming through this. There's an angel sitting here with a dolphin. So it's two worlds coming together, two different worlds coming together. One is of air, angels. One is of water, the dolphin. And then we have this full moon Mercury energy, which is air, that mercurial energy. And then we have this Neptune coming direct. So there's something that's meeting here, a meeting place inside of us, this relationship, one that we have with ourselves, that we've been asked to improve upon, to be more loving to oneself so we can help ourselves on our spiritual growth. We're also being asked to connect in a different way to each other, this relationship with each other, maybe connecting via screen, maybe even finding new friends via screen, to finding new relationships, and then relationships with this realm beyond our realm, if you will, this realm that is source. This is the Neptunian energy. What is beyond our realm? Where is this Neptunian energy asking us to connect to something divine, to source? Also in all of this too, it's asking us to become less dense in the mind, because all that we're going to be seeing, especially on this full moon time, there's going to be a lot of stuff that's going to be distracting, creating outer chaos, inner mind chaos. Our mind's going to be a little bit like, what's going on? So turn off all the screens and all the radios and listen to music, and maybe go outside and be in nature. That would be healing. Connect with nature, have a relationship with nature, different aspect of nature, maybe a part of nature you've never connected to before. This is time of quietening the minds and not being distracted by the things that we see come across our screens, whether they're just other people's also standing in front of us and telling us the way things should be. Maybe we can find quiet stillness, communing, creating relationship, again, with something that's beyond ourselves. Not that relationship or that chitter-chatter mind, that chitter mind, it's time to say, it's okay, I hear you, but now it's okay to be quiet for a moment, because then we can truly listen to what wants to be shared with us. Communing, especially with source and divine, or the universe, with the stars, the way I like to commune with the stars is through intelligent inner guidance that is streamed through, that comes through an inner channel, becoming that, in shamanic medicine, like that hollow bone, being quiet enough to listen. That creates that communion to let your, the old TV sets used to have these like bunny ears. If you don't know what that is, maybe Google that. Bunny ears on top of the TV set. And you had to change them, move them to get into the right station, move them around. And if they were moved a little, maybe it would get a little snowy on the screen. So that's the same thing. It's like being quiet enough, still enough to commune with something that's greater than ourselves. Imagine like an angel and dolphin coming together. If we rushed up to it, it may get a fright. But if this reminds me of my one cat. If I rush up to her, she gets a fright. But if I come in very slowly and sing a song to her and crawl down on my knees and come to her level, and I commune with her on her level too, a different level, there's a different interaction. She doesn't run away. She starts purring. Like all of a sudden she's purring and wants to be rubbed. But if I walk up to her stomping, like a stomper, like a human stomper, just stomping my way around because I don't believe that there's anything else except for me, she runs away. So it's teaching me like how to become more angelic, more fairy-like, if you will, because it's Tinkerbell. But there's this, like if you rushed up to a wild animal, they would probably flutter away. But if you moved in and find harmony with them, when you commune with you, tap into that field, there's a new field, a new existence. So maybe the guidance is about realizing that there's more than us, that everything that we're living is in relationship. And what are those important relationships now? We did spend Thanksgiving together with those that are important to us. So it is about building relationship. It is about building relationship with those that we are grateful for. Are we grateful to have divine guidance in our life, to have something that comes from a place that's not man-made, that's not mental-made, that is inspirational, that's intuitively guides us through those intuitive inner channels, that shows us the way to move on our path. And if we're in good relationship, right relationship with ourselves too, then we give ourselves, then we're in confidence with ourselves. We're confident with ourselves to listen inwardly. So that honing of that inward relationship is so essential too. So this is all about these relationships inside and external and beyond us, whether it's with the universe, the stars, something greater, with a natural nature world, with an animal, with ourselves, or with our loved ones too. So how are you in those relationships, sitting calmly? This is also about healing. So there's healing happening in relationships. This color blue is all about the healing. And it's been okay and silent and still, and you don't have to chit and chatter. You just have to be there. So like the bunny is, just tune in and listen. Don't have to ask for anything. Don't have to send prayers. It's almost like meditation, just being quiet and still and being like, I'm ready for you. I'm here. And you don't have to go anywhere. This is a great thing too. You just have to sit still and be quiet. Listen in. So hopefully that made some sense. From my heart to yours, may you always be blessed. Namaste. May you have a beautiful, full, penumbral lunar eclipse. And may you visit me online at belindapearl.com. Again, from my heart to yours, may you always be blessed. Namaste.